Hello everyone and welcome to Game 2 in a series between Puma and MC here on ESL's Cloud Kingdom. MC spawning as the red Protoss player on the top right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Puma spawning as the blue Terran player on the bottom left hand side of the map. Puma in Game 1 opening up with a rather curious proxy build that really didn't work out, and then MC really just punished him early on with a three-gate push with a lot of sentries, force fields, and then forcing Puma to end up losing a lot of workers. We'll see what will go on here in Game 2, and we'll see if Puma plays a little bit more traditionally, or if he tries to do something a little bit more unorthodox and perhaps trying to throw MC off of his game. Pylon now being warped in by MC. Meanwhile, Puma opening up with the front door supply depot as well. There is a lot of room here to work with inside your main base. It is on the high ground. There is a good amount of cliffing here, so we'll see what exactly these players are trying to do and what the long-term strategy will be, as Puma now looking like he's just going to build a front door barracks as opposed to trying to do anything too sneaky, as I'm sure a proxy barracks on this map is rather easy to scout out unless it is really far out of the way. Gateway now being warped in. You can see a probe now make its way across the map and do a little bit of harassment, and we'll take a look. I don't see, no, it looks like gas is not going to be taken anytime soon, so Puma's going to really just stick to Marines now, and then perhaps try to go for a 17 or 18 command center and then get double gas with double barracks as well, as he's going to need to catch up in terms of production with Protoss. Probe now slipping inside the base, going to take a look around, see that there is no refineries down here, and knows that this is going to perhaps kind of turn into an economic game, at least for the next 3 minutes or so, as we also have the Cybernetics core finally coming in. MC opening up with that Cybernetics core. It should be able to start chrono boosting out a Zealot if he chooses, but most likely just going to wait for a Stalker after that Cybernetics core is done, and then also chrono boost out the Warp Gate research as well. Orbital Command is ready to go. We are about 300 minerals right now. As soon as we get enough resources, we should be able to get a low ground command center. And very interesting that the wall off was completed. So the wall off was completed, and now the probe is not going to be able to get any true scouting information on that low ground. So this one probe has to assume two things going to happen. It can either be mass Marines, or it could be an expansion, and it is going to be an expansion attempt. Meanwhile, we have one SCV hiding on the far side in the main base, and he's going to be able to come back in and take a look at all the key buildings situated here. Bunker now being established. A nice positioning on the bunker. What most likely is going to happen is that another bunker could be placed here, or Marines on the high ground could be placed here. So even if so this ends up making the choke point much more narrow. If they try to come in only from here, then the choke point is much narrower. But if they try to utilize the entire choke point, the Marines from the high ground will be able to do a bit of damage as well. SCV still on the far side, still has not done any true scouting. Meanwhile, a Nexus is being warped in. It looks like a Stalker is now making its way across the map. The Stalker should be able to destroy this SCV on the low ground, as we also have a Stalker off over here. So it is going to be double Stalkers, as they're going to try to make their way inside the main base here. This Stalker going to reveal itself, and we'll see what's going to happen. There's already 4 Marines inside this bunker, and with that, those Stalkers are just going to be forced to perhaps just retreat just a little. SCV now once again wandering back in, gonna take a quick look around. The SCV is gonna spot that there is a Nexus here by MC, and knows that any aggression with these gateways is not gonna be nearly that effective, as it will be short at least 4 Zealots, as that is the cost of a Nexus. Now, Stalkers are ready to go. You can see that there's only one operational gateway with 2 more on the way. Warp Gate tech has been completed now, so these gateways should be upgrading into warp gates in just a moment, and perhaps if a proxy pylon could be set up in time, be able to apply a little bit more pressure. MC currently ahead 41 to 33 in terms of harvest, or in terms of food, 31 harvesters compared to 27, as the bunker takes another round of damage. And right now, all MC is doing is he's exchanging hit points, or sorry, shield points for a little bit of resources. I like this play, as SCV, if the SCV is off over here, it is not mining. And on top of that, shields are free, so shields recharge for free. Meanwhile, the hit points on the bunker need to be repaired, and there you go. Oh, could have gotten a little bit more damage, but I guess with 4 Marines on the inside, the Stalkers couldn't really deal that much. Sentries, Zealots, and a probe now making its way over. It looks like this may be a repeat of what we saw in Game 1, but it will be a little bit more delayed, and Puma will be perhaps ready for it. Siege tank with siege tech now being added. It's about 30 seconds away, or sorry, 25 seconds away before that first siege tank. Pylon's going to take a little bit of time to warp in, and it's really going to come down to how fast these siege tanks do come in with that siege tech. The siege tanks now making their way down. Perhaps one siege tank can stay up on the high ground, and if they can stay here, Puma should be fine, but Puma needs to get those siege tanks over, and in a hurry. This is going to be very, very bad if this does not happen now. And here we go. Siege tanks are ready to go, and now battling it out. The Marines are going to be going in, the Marines, and the Zealots battling, and now MC forced to retreat. So some damage dealt to the units, but no real units lost in that engagement. Both sides only losing their scouting units so far, as a new command center now being established. Puma could easily push out here, break this contain, and we'll see what MC tries to do to follow this up, as we are now getting Immortals trained. Stalkers doing a little bit of an exchange here. It is going to be 4 Stalkers against 3 Marines and siege tanks. The Stalkers do have superior range. They would be able to get in a lot more damage. Meanwhile, an Observer is coming across the center portion of the map. Puma is trying to push out here, and the Stalkers have to be very, very careful. Otherwise, they will get destroyed. Siege tanks with very superior range and very effective against armored units, as you see those Stalkers now retreating and returning back home. New Immortal now being added. Second Immortal on the way. We should be going into Colossi. Meanwhile, Stim Pack level 1 weapons upgrade and that 3rd orbital command almost done. Taking a look at what MC just getting extended thermal lance range, and Colossi right now not getting much of anything else. He's not going to be able to transition nearly as nicely. Even though MC does have a slight worker or slight food advantage, Puma has a definite harvester advantage, especially with his 3rd orbital command nearly completed, 10 seconds away. So he will be up on 3 bases. Zealots now warping in on the bottom right hand side of the map. We'll see where these Stalkers are going to go. This is going to be a rather large engagement here. Medivacs, combat shields, Stim. Puma is going to hit a very nice timing where MC is just not going to have any of the necessary upgrades to really deal with this Stim combat shield level 1 weapons upgrade army. You can also see that the SCV, the orbital command, not lifting off at this time. The Stalkers may be visible. No longer visible here, but there is a floating factory out front. It looks like Puma is going to instead opt to do a drop. The Marines are now going to once again regather at the front, and this drop is going to hit and deal a lot of damage. MC now needs to attack and strike while the iron is hot, and also then reinforce reinforce some units over here behind the mineral lines. You can see that the Zealots are now going to perhaps try to do a bit of a flank, and here we go. Zealots, Immortals, Colossi, both sides dealing a lot of damage. Siege tanks and the Marines. The Marines now trying to focus fire some more units. Zealots getting caught. Colossi now going to get focused down by the Vikings, as the siege tanks are here. The Zealots are now continuing to try to push. The one bunker is very low on hit points. The Colossi looks like it will get taken down. Yes, it will get taken down. The bunker now going to get taken down, as the Medivacs are now dropping straight inside this main base here. Where are the Zealots being reinforced? The Zealots or Stalkers are being reinforced back in the main base, so he's going to lose a round of gateway units, as the Marauders and the Marines may be able to take down some gateways and now unpower some buildings. This pylon off over here may unpower. No, needs to get off one more off over here, and if all of these pylons are down, yes, MC says GG, as with no more reinforcements, MC knows that he would not be able to take this game. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 2 here on Cloud Kingdom. Stay tuned for Game 3.